Hey guys, today we're starting off a new series which I'm calling the Weekly Wrap-Up. That might be a temporary name, not sure. But this is all about games that I didn't have time for, or I didn't feel were long enough to constitute a full gameplay, or for whatever reason just never got to. I may do gameplay of them in the future if you guys want me to, but we'll see. Alright, now to get to it. The first game that we're going to talk about is Builders of the Horrors Alpha. Now, the reason I chose this game is because it was a fun little point-and-click game that I thought was kind of interesting. I wasn't really sure what all to do. It felt kind of hard to actually get through really anything. There's really no introduction to anything, but as far as point-and-click goes, it seems pretty standard. I didn't really understand the monsters that I was faced with right away. I didn't get very far because I kept getting killed, so I'm not really sure what that was all about. I didn't see any triggers when I played through it a few more times. Probably see it once in this footage here. The big thing that I would suggest for this is try and indicate some way that the players are being hunted by something before you just throw something at them. I didn't understand what was going on. I thought I was just trying to escape, and all of a sudden I'm being hunted now. I didn't understand why that was, but overall this is a really good base for a point-and-click escape horror game. I think you got a really great start and could just use a few basic building blocks to throw on top of it. Now, I did notice that in under a day you posted a new game titled the remastered version of this. So I'm not really sure what that is all about. If you can remaster it that quickly, you should probably just add it onto the base game to begin with. But overall, I think you got a great start here, and I'd love to see more work on this one. The next game we're going to talk about is Go to Room by ZkutGD on GameJolt. This was actually a surprisingly interesting game. I did not expect to have a lot of fun in this, but I ended up actually getting really into it and really frustrated when I lost. I thought it was a really simple concept, but turns out I was completely mistaken. The controls were a little bit weird at first, but I got used to them, and so it was actually pretty easy to pick it up. And even though the concept is actually pretty easy, there are some challenging bits, and you add some powers in it that make it really interesting. The graphics seem to flow together very nicely. I really do like how you have everything set up. Biggest thing I would add for here is sounds. It needs some kind of audio, because it was kind of weird to not have any audio, even though there was a lot of loud visuals. So I don't know where you would add those in or what they would sound like, but I definitely think you need something. I really like where this is going. Please add more levels. This is actually pretty fun. Once you add more levels, I'll probably give it another try. Alright, now to the third game on this list. The name of the game is called Phantoms by Jun Yi, also on GameJolt. Link will be in the description for all of these if I didn't say that already. But this game, I really loved the art style. I could definitely tell, I think you left it that way on purpose, that some of the models are not fully filled in. But overall, the art style is very nice, and I really like how it all flows together. At first, the combat felt really clunky because I didn't really know what was going on. I didn't know any of the controls, but after I got used to it, it was a lot better and actually feels pretty cool. And you can see in some of these clips how I kind of adjusted to it and started to grow more familiar with the controls and how the enemies started to attack, which I do like the design of the enemies too. They're pretty awesome. Obviously, you need to fill in the colors yet, but you already know that. This first room that I'm in, I never really got out of because it just felt like it was one big boss battle until I died. I'm not really sure what that's about. If that's the case, I'd like to see a score system. If that's not the case, I'd like to see an objective, what I need to do to move on. You may also notice that I get kind of caught in a room over on the right side of the map here. yeah, that was kind of frustrating because I couldn't see what was going on, and the guy with me kept kind of batting them back into that corner, so I never had a chance to really get a good look at them until I killed them, and then that dropship dropped more baddies, and then more baddies, and then more baddies. So I'd like to see some kind of progression here. The audio was good, the art style's great, the attacks feel pretty smooth once I got used to them. So maybe throw in a quick little tutorial bit, but I don't know if that's entirely necessary. Just quick indicate what the buttons are supposed to do and what your attacks do, and maybe an objective. Alright, so game number 4 on this list today is called The Dark Way. Now, this game has me actually pretty excited, although I don't think he's going to be working on it anymore. It even says in the description that I don't think he's going to, but this information may prove useful for games going further on. I really did love the atmosphere that was going on in this, although I didn't really have much direction as to what I was doing. I figured it was a horror game, obviously, because of the atmosphere of your game page, but I didn't really know what I was looking for, why I was there, what I was supposed to be doing. Some direction right off the bat would be super helpful in getting the players like immersed. I did try and push through and walk around a little bit because I was super curious about what was actually going on, and then you really spooked me one time. So well done. The atmosphere is fantastic in this game, although I'm not really sure how much of a game there really is. It's more of like a tech demo, I guess, which is kind of what your YouTube series was trying to do. So maybe in the future in these, try and incorporate some kind of mechanic that directs players after they have wandered around for a little bit too long, or something that tells them what's going on here, or even just a slight hint like blood everywhere might help. I also did find a few doorways that I couldn't go through. One you'll see pretty much right away at the beginning of my clip of playing this game. I don't really know what else to add, although it does seem like the foliage just kind of drops off when you get near the edge of what I assume is the edge of the map. I would also love to see some kind of, I don't know, more than just a resource for stamina. Maybe your flashlight has batteries, maybe you have a limited time to get out, maybe it just tells you how many things are hunting you, I don't know. There's definitely something after you here that I noticed once that really got me. But other than that, I don't really know anything about what's going on, even after about 10 minutes of just wandering around. But if you're not going to work on it, well then just take this advice and use it for a future game. Alright, the last game that we're going to look at today is called Legends by Osh Bagosh. I kind of want to guess which region you're from, because I know a series of stores that shares a very similar name. But anyways, I saved this one for last because I feel it has the most potential on the list here. I love the movement style, it's very smooth, you got some basic controls really set up, the world seems very dense and diverse. I've looked at the bigger map that you have listed on your GameJolt page, and it looks like you're actively developing this, which is awesome. One thing I want to encourage you to do is take a look at some games that might try and do some similar things, and tweak it, make it your own. Try not to make it just another replica of something. I don't think you're doing that, or that's your goal, but I feel like there's a danger here that you might start doing that. So I would encourage you, have some collectibles, have some stuff hidden around. I don't know what style of game you're going for, but this feels like a great start to a kind of a silly, irreverent RPG, maybe. But it really could be anything, in all honesty. It could be a platformer, it could be a puzzle game. Whatever you want to do with it, it's a great foundation for. I love the detail you've put into some of the buildings. And like I said, the controls are fluid, the animation's very smooth, except for the jump. The last half of the jump seems a little weird. But I'm really excited for what else you start putting into this game. So I'm following this game, the rest of you guys should follow this game. Maybe go check it out, explore the world, offer up your own advice for what could happen here. I don't want to offer too many ideas for what you can do, just because I don't want to change your mind or force you into something. But for now, maybe add some secrets for players to find and throw that in your description, just so they have some sense of them actually playing a game instead of just walking around the world for now. but I'm really excited for what the end game looks in this, so keep it up, man. Alright, that concludes this week's GameJolt wrap-up. If you guys like this, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you're new around here. If you guys have suggestions over the next week, feel free to stop by the Discord, drop them in. I believe there's a channel already up called The Game Queue, so you guys can throw your suggestions in there, and I'd love to see what you guys think of these games that I've posted here. Of course, if you'd love to see full gameplay videos, then go ahead and let me know in the comments below, and I'll see if I can get to them. But until next time, guys, please take care of yourself, because I will see you later.